Beautiful people, welcome back to our channel and thank you so much for joining the channel today. Guys, if this is your first time here, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support the movement. It's so important to us. Now let's take a look at studies in Sweden, and I am making this video because I want you to remember that you can move to Sweden with your family. That's point number one. Point number two is there is no legalization involved when it comes to Sweden application, or if you want to migrate to Sweden. There is no agent. You do not need anybody. I'm going to equally tell you the various procedures you can take in order to migrate to Sweden. Point number four, you must not use IELTS. And I want to draw your attention to this. When you studied or where you studied, in the past couple of years, you can just go there and collect what we call English proficiency. You do not necessarily need IELTS to study in Sweden, okay? And you can apply for like 4 to 6 programs in Sweden. Is the admissions open in Sweden? No. And for you to know when the admissions is open, you have to keep watching this video so that I can take you across everything, and we will talk about the application, talk about the documents you need, which are the requirements. We will talk about the advantages of studying in Sweden. We will talk about relocation and a whole lot, including visa application. If you are new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe. Now, remember, I said before that you don't need an agent to apply to Sweden. Now, but do you have the skills to actually check the programs? There is a site you are going to be using. They call this site universityadmissions.se. When you go to this site, the first thing you need to do is take a look at the programs. First of all, you have to create an account. When you create the account, you upload your documents. Then from there, you can now start selecting the programs you want to apply. You can even arrange the programs in the order you want them to come. Which one do you prefer to be at the top position? Remember, I said you can apply to like 4 to 6 programs for master's and bachelor's level. But admissions is currently not open now in Sweden, and the nearest intake is going to be in June. That is, the admissions is going to open in June. Now, the documents you need to apply or to study in Sweden are: 1, your WAEC certificate and the scratch card. If you are from Nigeria, this is only for Nigerians, guys. Then if you are not from Nigeria, let's assume that you are from Cameroon, you need your O levels, your A levels. You equally need what is called the baccalaureate if you are coming from the Francophone side. If you are from Ghana, you need your WASI, Liberia WASI. Remember, if you are using WAEC, you should be able to supply the scratch card. For NECO, guys, I will not advise you to use NECO because most schools do not accept NECO. WAEC is very important document. And if you have your secondary school's transcripts, please make sure you add your secondary school transcripts to the application. It might help a lot, okay? They would equally use it because they will want to see the grades you actually got during your secondary school days. Now, if you are married, you can add your marriage certificate to your application, right? Remember, why are you adding the marriage certificate to your application? You are adding because you are married, and for Sweden, you can move with your family. Sweden is one of the countries alongside Denmark, Austria, Portugal, and Finland that you can move with family. So it is not any news again. We all know that you can move with family to Sweden. Then you can also add a copy of your CV. CV is very important. Then in some extent, I think a motivation letter can help you scale through the application timeline to explain yourself more and upload it to the system. In case, remember, you're uploading this to universityadmissions.se. Okay, you are not sending the files to Sweden, or you are just uploading to universityadmissions.se. If there is any need for reference letters, you add reference letters. These are the documents you need. Now remember, tuition fee in Sweden is somehow affordable but not that cheap. If you can even pay instrumentally, like when you gain admissions to study in Swedish institutions, they are going to tell you to pay first deposit. Then this first deposit is just to secure your position and apply for visa, right? Then subsequently, you are going to pay the remaining portion in installments, like every semester. It depends. There is something very important a lot of people do not know. How do you pay for the programs? In Sweden, you cannot apply for programs for free. There is an application fee. How much is the fee? 900 SEK. SEK is the Swedish krona. All right, I call it krona, but that's the Swedish money. You can convert to euro. To euro is around 90 euros. No, 95 or 100 euros, something like that, close to that range for the application fee. Then I already gave you the documents. Now, the advantage of applying to Sweden, or if you want to study in Sweden, is that it is a Schengen country. The visa that is going to be given to you by the Swedish embassy can allow you travel in and out of all Schengen countries in Europe. So this is the first advantage. Then the second advantage is that the post-study permit will be reinstated. They are going to allow you some time, I think it's 1 year, to study, to remain back in Sweden, and of course look for a job. So, and Sweden is not in a way that like Switzerland where you'll be given 6 months. No, and you are not necessarily going to study 4 languages, 3 languages. In Sweden, it's either you know English or you know Swedish, and for you to really interact with the people, the culture, you just need to learn your Swedish, and that is it. You can relocate with family, like I explained to you. Now let's take a look at, after you apply for programs, first of all, you already know the site you are going to be applying for the programs, which is the universityadmissions.se. After you apply for the programs, admissions letter is going to come to you. After the admissions letter has been given to you, you will now pay your fees. Remember, there is a deadline and you must accept the offer and say, yes, I'm coming to study this program. After you accept the offer, you can now start your visa process after you have paid the tuition fee deposit, because without the deposit, you will not get all the documents. Remember, please take note about this. When you go to the site, universityadmissions.se site, you are going to realize that not all the programs are for internationals. If you must get a study visa to study in Sweden, make sure you get a program that is minimum 60 ECTS, 90, 120, 180, and above, all right? Because the program for I think 60 ECTS is a program that will last just for half a year. The one for 90 and 180, those are the ones that can give you an insurance in Sweden, because you don't need an insurance. You only get the insurance in Sweden or documents to apply for jobs. So please, you have to put all this into consideration. To me, if I want to advise you, I will not even advise you to take a program which is less than a year or less than 1.5 years. And those programs which are more than 1.5 years, they are the ones which are very expensive. But again, like I told you, you have to get ready. And remember, you will be paying like maybe 2 million, 2.5, 3 million and above after you gotten the admission. It's so important. Then after that, you now move to visa stage. Remember, you need at least 7 million in your personal bank account. This money must be in your bank account. I have a video about that where I explain that you have to get this done. And remember, a company cannot sponsor you. The money must be in your account if you want to really move to Sweden. Okay, so don't make an error and said, okay, I'm going to take money in your account. If you want to migrate with family, have the money in your account, and it must be equivalent to what they are looking at. Please do not forget this. It's very important. Now, in the European Union, it's possible to work. Of course, you are going to be working part-time as an international student in Sweden, but during the holidays, you can work full-time. This is a very important thing you should note. But remember that you need to work, and you need a working document. Now, if you apply for a program that is less than 1 year, you will not get insurance, and which will lead you to this working document. So please always put this into consideration. Companies cannot sponsor you. I explained this. Money must be in your bank account, and the money, if you are moving alone, is approximately 7.4 million CFA francs. I don't know how much it is. You can convert to your own local currencies. I think it should be around maybe 13,000 euros or more. Please convert this and make sure you pay attention to the details. If you are moving with one child to Sweden, there is an amount you need for the child. If you are moving with a whole family of maybe 5, there is an amount each child need before the amount you need for you and your wife. Remember, you alone would be working 20 hours, but your wife can work full time. So this is how you have to apply. Sweden does not need legalization. All these things for legalization, it doesn't. But the problem is you have to fight to get the visa. Getting visa is not sentiments, guys. You have to be qualified. You have to prove that you are actually qualified to get the visa. So please put all of this and do not be afraid. IELTS is very important if you have it. But like I said, if you do not have it, you are good to go. You can still use your English proficiency. Now, how can you also break down this issue of tuition. Is it possible for you to find another way? Yes, you can apply for the SI scholarship, the Swedish Institute scholarship. But if you are applying for this particular scholarship, you have to pay attention to the documentations. There are 3 forms you have to upload. Forms that relates to employment. You also need to make sure that you have some maybe voluntary activities or maybe community projects, or you are related, or you have anything that relates to this, because you remember, scholarships, they want to know that somebody who is going to win the scholarship should be somebody who can contribute to the society or the community. So they are almost looking for people who have done projects, voluntary services within their communities and stuff like that. So please put all of this into consideration, and remember, you can study a PhD in Sweden and it's free, absolutely free. So save this video, share it with one family member so it can help them. We will see again in another video. Bye bye.